Welcome back to the Boilermaker Breakdown, your midweek update on Purdue Athletics. I'm Matthew Stout. Ahead, the women's basketball team rolled to a pair of huge conference wins, while the men's tennis team scored an upset on the road. But first, our top story: a new era begins for Purdue softball. The Boilermakers opened the 2014 season in Louisiana, going 1-2-1 on the weekend. After dropping a pair of games on Saturday, the Boilermakers took down the 10th-ranked Texas, thanks to solid pitching and patience at the plate. Lily Fecho went the distance in the circle, striking out 6, while her offense drew 8 walks total and got timely hits to make the difference. The Boilermakers followed that game up with another solid result, tying 13th-ranked Louisiana Lafayette 7-7. It was a solid start for new head coach Kim Schutte. We're here with first-year Purdue softball coach Kim Schutte, and Coach, you had a pretty exciting first weekend. What was that kind of like to finally get out on the field?
Oh, we're so excited. Just anytime you can get outside and have another opponent show up, I mean, that's game time. We talk about go time, game time, fun time. Let's get it going.
And then you had 2 pretty huge games on the last day. Beat number 10 Texas 5-4, tied with number 13 Louisiana Lafayette 3-7. What were those games like to see that you really could bring it out against the best in the country?
Yeah, the Texas game, we came out firing, and there was no fear, which was good. We didn't walk out and say, oh gosh, it's Texas. We just went out and played a little ball, and we came out on top. To say the least, our kids were pretty pumped up. And what was even better is that after that game, once you win a game like that, nobody really cares after that. The next team is gearing for even more. And sometimes your balloon can kind of deflate, but our team came out in the Louisiana game and was really resilient and came back a couple times. They went up, we came back. They went up, we came back, and it kind of went back and forth. We had the opportunity to win that game, bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, kind of let them back in it, but I guess a tie is better than a loss. So.
Now, being a northern team, obviously the temperatures don't allow you to get outside probably. How do you guys get ready for those games, knowing that the Texas teams, Louisiana teams that you're playing are practicing outside? How do you get the team ready back here? What's the practice like?
We can sit and swallow and wallow and weep about that, but it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are so lucky to have this. A lot of places don't have this. And we can scrimmage in here. We can play full out in here. It's a great facility to have. If you can see the ball in here, you can see it outside. It makes going outside look like HD TV.
And now you've had 7 months on the job. What have your first 7 months been like, and what have you kind of brought with you? What's your coaching style?
7 months have been definitely memorable, definitely a little bit crazy, but absolutely awesome. Everybody's been so welcoming here, and things are just going well. Our kids work hard. What do I bring to the table? We work hard. We'll be disciplined. We'll do the little things right, that's for sure. And we're going to have some fun. I think you play better when you smile a little bit and when you can relax a little bit. Knowing that you've worked hard and you're prepared, then you get to have fun when it's game time. So hopefully that's what you'll see.
So this weekend now, going to South Carolina, the Kickin' Chicken Classic. Obviously you want to win all those games down there, but what else do you hope to see out of the team?
We're really working hard this week on defense. Better defense, better aggressive play on defense. Our offense, hopefully we can keep it going. It showed up this past weekend. This coming weekend, defense. We want to do better on defense.
All right, well, Coach, I appreciate your time, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
The women's basketball team notched 2 big wins last week, beginning with a 74-58 win over Ohio State in Mackey Arena. Courtney Moses led the way with 18 points, while 5 Boilermakers finished with double-digit points, and the team hit 27 of 29 free throws. Then they hit the road for a game at Michigan, and it was more of the same, converting 18 of 19 freebies on their way to a 9-point win. Coach Sharon Versip's team is now 17-7 on the year, 7-5 in Big Ten play, and 5th place in the Big Ten with 4 games to play. The men's basketball team had a thrilling triple overtime win over Minnesota last Wednesday in Mackey Arena. A.J. Hammond scored 20 points to go with 14 rebounds, and the Boilermakers won the Battle of the Boards to help ice the win. Coach Painter's club then hit the road for a tough battle at Ohio State. The Boilermakers stayed within striking distance for 30 minutes, cutting the deficit to just 3 with under 9 minutes to play, but Ohio State pulled away for the 67-49 win. Purdue now stands at 14-10 overall, 4-7 in the Big Ten. The men's tennis team hit the road to take on 64th-ranked Arkansas and notched a 6-1 win. It was the first win over a ranked opponent this year for the Boilermakers, who are now 2-1 on the young season. The women's tennis team split a pair of matches this weekend, taking down Georgia State on Friday 5-2 before falling to 28th-ranked Tulsa by that same score on Sunday. The 30th-ranked Boilermakers are now 3-2 on the year. The track and field team notched several great times at the Mayo Invitational in South Bend. The Boilermakers won 10 events on the weekend, led by Carrie Schulbraid, who won the 800-meter and then led off the first leg of the victorious 4x400-meter relay. There was no team scoring at the event. Men's swimming and diving took on Indiana live on the Big Ten Network on Saturday afternoon, falling to the 7th-ranked Hoosiers in Bloomington. Danny Tucker swept the freestyle events for the Boilermakers, taking the 50, 100, and 200 while anchoring the 400 freestyle relay. The team wraps up the dual season with a 7-4 record, with all 4 losses coming against Big Ten teams ranked in the top 15 in the country. And wrestling closed out the Big Ten dual season as well with a tough 18-16 loss to 13th-ranked Illinois. Seniors Cash Kuroga and Alex White came up with big wins on senior night, but it wasn't enough as the Fighting Illini got enough bonus points to make the difference. Coach Scott Hinkle's team stands at 6-7 overall, with all 7 losses coming against Big Ten teams in the nation's top 16. Now that you're all caught up on the week that was, let's take a peek at what's on deck for the old Gold and Black. The Purdue baseball team begins the 2014 season with a trip to Knoxville for a pair of 2-game series with Nebraska, Omaha, and Tennessee. The softball team heads to South Carolina for the Kickin' Chicken Classic at Coastal Carolina. The Boilermakers will play 5 games in 3 days, including a pair against Syracuse. The men's basketball team has just 1 game on the schedule this week, but it's a big one. Purdue welcomes Indiana to Katy Court Saturday afternoon. The women's team hosts Iowa on Sunday in the Pink Zone game for cancer awareness. The first 2,500 fans in the door will get free t-shirts, and a game-worn jersey will be auctioned following the game. Track and field hosts the Fred Wilt Invitational on Saturday in Lambert Fieldhouse. The men's golf team opens the season with the Big Ten Match Play Championships all weekend in Florida. The women's golf team, meanwhile, hosts the Lady Puerto Rico Classic beginning Sunday in Rio Grande. Men's tennis welcomes IUPUI and Valparaiso to the Schwartz Tennis Center Saturday, while the women head to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks and Oklahoma this weekend. And the wrestling team closes out the season with a road trip to northern Iowa to take on 8th-ranked Panthers on Sunday afternoon. For all the latest updates throughout the week, check out PurdueSports.com. One note of congratulations to women's basketball's Courtney Moses on being named to the WBCA Good Works team for her involvement in numerous charitable organizations. Courtney will be recognized at the Women's Basketball Final Four in early April. That does it for this week's breakdown. We'll catch you next week. Boiler up.